Kungaloosh, fellow Armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Mickeyfan.
And welcome to the recap project for So You Want to Be an Imagineer, Season 18, Project 3, Animation Domination. Mickeyfan, I gotta say, I'm not particularly proud of the name of this project. I feel like I could have come up with something more creative. It's just like, oh, let's see, what's like probably one of the worst lineups of animated shows on TV. Yeah, that. Let's do that.
Cartoons.
Yeah. Alright, so Mickeyfan, I gotta say, I'm just gonna be honest right now. I know you're a few glasses deep into some sangria.
Oh yeah, I'm getting roasted right now.
Props to you. So I feel like we can sort of just let the leash off a little bit here. And I gotta be honest with you, Mickeyfan, this project, we saw the first chinks in the armor from the teams this round, I think.
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
Yeah, especially Team Durango, but we'll talk about Team Durango. We'll kind of save it for last.
We'll get into it.
Overall, though, Mickeyfan, what was because I think out of all the projects so far this season, I got to admit this is one of the ones I was most looking forward to. And I'm not gonna lie, one of the big reasons I'm disappointed in the results of this project is because of the IP choice. Like, I was practically begging the teams to do Courage. None of them did Courage. I saw a few really, really creative ideas. Like, I saw an idea for like, Hey Arnold flashlight tag. I'm like, fuck yes, give that to me, please. I saw a ton of really good ideas just get brushed over this project, which is why it was so frustrating.
I think that the breadth of what you can do with just animated cartoons pre-2000 is so huge. You could, you're talking about even stuff that's still running today with SpongeBob and all that. There's so much you could do with this prompt, and I'm kind of some of these I was genuinely shocked that it was happening.
Yeah, two others I want to point out that I love the concepts for. Rocket Power, that would have been amazing just because it would have been kind of like a really niche, bordering on so bad it's good IP choice, I think.
It would have been so bad it's good.
All right, fine. I have a fondness for Rocket Power, man. I was the perfect age for Rocket Power. Rocket Power came out alongside Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and I was 10 years old at the time. So, but I think I also think Wild Thornberries, which is a concept I saw pushed pretty hard, I was disappointed didn't get the green light. That would have been perfect.
That would have been a really cool IP to see done, because I think it's perfect for that CD ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And excuse me, you could do so much with it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the IPs that actually were chosen. Let's go into the projects themselves.
Yeah.
Let me scroll down here. Oh, hold on. Let me get to the next page. I knew I had two tabs open for a reason. All right, Team Citra. They chose Tom and Jerry. Duels. That's a little bit of a tongue twister there.
I like the name because it feels so much like a Tom and Jerry cartoon name.
Totally, I agree.
Yeah. So what did you think about this IP choice?
I respected it more than I outwardly liked it. Yogi Bear is an IP choice, obviously, I don't respect, and I outwardly kind of call out the fact that I don't respect it. But Tom and Jerry is one that I wouldn't have thought of, especially with the dueling track ride element, but it seems obvious. It should be
Yeah,
obvious. And now that someone has done it, it's like, of course you would do
uh,
something like that. It makes
I
total
don't think I've
sense.
ever seen this done, which is kind of shocking to me.
Yeah, yeah. So in that respect, I think the most creative thing about it, though, was the MGM studios of it all.
Oh yeah, we're suckers for alternate dimensions. Let's
Oh,
just
yeah.
lay that out straight.
First of all, I love the fact that Voyage of the Little Mermaid feels like something that should have lasted just a couple years.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so the fact that like we call out like, oh, of course we replaced the obviously meant to be temporary Voyage of the Little Mermaid. And then I also love the fact that like this kind of like fosters the relationship between Disney and MGM
Yeah.
and leads MGM Studios into like a brighter future. I
Oh
like
yeah.
that. It's linchpin.
Yeah. I think that I think that putting this in MGM Studios was such an inspired choice and really pushed this along to where it might not have been if that wasn't mentioned.
Hmm. Let's see. Let's see. I do think that the ride itself is not nearly as fleshed out as something like the Animaniacs ride was.
Oh, totally. I think that if anything really was a weak point, it was the writing and the presentation.
Hmm. I mean, I think the presentation is it's got some good concept art to
Oh
it,
yeah,
but the Achilles heel was the slideshow. They really
yeah.
shouldn't have gone with the
I,
slideshow.
I would totally not have done a slideshow with this. I would have done something like a Google Doc or just a straightforward post.
What I would have done is an interactive map.
Oh,
So basically, something where you have all of the show scenes laid out on a map, and then have basically like little annotations that you could sort of highlight, and it would kind of like describe what would be happening at different points in the ride. That's how I envisioned the perfect presentation of this to be
yeah, I like that.
for this specific concept.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Especially with this dueling ride concept.
Mm-hmm. Because that way you would get an overhead view. One of the things I was really struggling with, and I hope you're with me here, is I was really struggling with the idea of like, okay, so if you're in Jerry's perspective, everything's big, but if you're in Tom's perspective, then everything's small. Like, what do you think of that? Like, I was really struggling with the perspective issues.
Um, yeah, I was kind of struggling with it. Eventually, I hope I got what they were going for with having with it being two separate rooms.
Oh, that makes sense. Is it two separate rooms? All
I
right,
I
all right.
think that's what they were going for.
Well, at any rate, it wasn't. I feel like the point was kind of buried within the text. You never
Oh
want the
yeah,
point of the whole ride system to be buried.
yeah,
So, overall, Team Citra is like the consummate silver finisher, the consummate second place, and I really want them to step up their game.
oh yeah,
Because I feel like with just a few presentation flourishes, they could easily take a win.
oh totally. Like this is a great concept. Pure and simple. This is a spectacular concept, but it needed that push. On the presentation side, on the writing side, to really capture us.
All right, I think that's all that needs to be said, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, next up, folks, we've got the winning project this round from Team Orbis,
God level.
Animaniacs. so I Yeah, this is great. It really is.
Yeah.
The only thing that I have nitpicks with it, but that's about
Yeah,
it.
my only problems with this were nitpicks.
Yeah, same here, same here. Honestly, my biggest nitpick is with the video, to tell you the truth. And that's because I feel like with the video, it's a great presentation, and I love the fact that they're pushing the boundaries with it. That being said, I do not think that it was as good of a presentation as the Minecraft project, just because the
Yeah.
Minecraft project really was purely visual, and this was like,
Oh,
there
yeah.
was still reading involved here.
Yeah.
And the reading wouldn't be a problem if the text didn't scroll so fast.
Yeah.
That was an issue.
I for the most part, I was able to keep up with the text, but I see what you're saying. Where if you are not a quick reader, that can go super fast.
And also, like, Pi does have a legitimately solid YouTube channel, and he does good stuff with it. I don't see why he couldn't have taken this text and narrated it.
Yeah.
So, Pi, like, by all means, please do that. I'm giving you, like, a solid tip here, buddy.
Let's hear that
I
sweet,
feel like
sultry voice.
Well, the only thing I will always say about Pi's voice is that it sounds like that one guy, Expedition Theme Park. That's the one thing I will always say about Pi's voice. It's like the same person.
Conspiracy theory.
I truly think he's hiding something from us, folks. I think Pi, like, he probably has, like, direct access to, you know, like, all these different YouTube connections, and he's just holding out. He could probably get me an interview with Kevin Perger anytime he wanted to. Alright. Darn you, Pi. Alright. I do think this toads the line between E-ticket and D-ticket, and I really do feel like it's a high it's a high D ticket.
It's very much a high D.
I would say it's a higher D ticket than Runaway Railway, and that's really pushing it.
I think I fell in love with the Runaway Railway, so I have I really have no horse in that race.
You what with Runaway Railway? You fell in love with it?
I fell in love with Runaway Railway. Nice. I think it's completely an e-ticket, so I have no horse in that race. But I think that this definitely straddles the line very closely.
All right, fair enough. I like Runaway Railway a lot, and of course I was there opening day. Like, how early was I there? Like,
day, but no, not trying to show up or anything.
You son of a! Wow, you really did just kind of deflate my balloon a little bit. How early?
I went. Oh gosh, I have to think back, but it was probably. Hang on.
Like a week, a couple weeks?
It was a couple weeks.
So you didn't even go like within the time frame that I was in Orlando.
I think I was there like a week before you were there.
All right.
If I remember right.
Whatever. Well, still, I did you get to be there when all the Imagineers were there clapping for the opening day crowd?
No.
I didn't think so. That's something I witnessed.
Fair enough.
All right. And it also just made me feel really outclassed because it's like I do have a YouTube channel and I do have hundreds of followers technically, but I was there with like the likes of like Adam the Woo and the WDW couple and like Roy Meets World, and I was just like, oh my god, I am like in the shadow of Titans right now. It was genuinely kind of intimidating as someone who's like trying to break into the community of Disney YouTubers.
Yeah.
Oh god. Anyways, we're getting on a tangent here. So Animaniacs, I don't really think much more needs to be said. It's a very, very solid IP choice.
Oh, totally.
I'm gonna nitpick the fact that it was already used in So You Want to Be an Imagineer, but that's just me being a historian about the game. Don't mind me.
Yeah, I think that, when you get into, oh, this IP has been used before, that's when it gets real nitpicky.
So yeah, pretty much.
I think that, what was done here was so significantly different from what was done previously with this IP.
Oh yeah.
Like, that in the end, it really didn't matter, almost.
Sure. Although,
let me just say, the writing was so perfect.
oh, it was great. It was great for sure.
Hear every single line that the Warners said in their voice.
What was your favorite segment?
My favorite segment was, I think it was that cat's joke.
The cat's joke was great. Yes. Makes me think that we need an Animaniacs reboot.
We are.
Oh, we are getting one?
Yeah, on Hulu.
Oh, terrific. I forgot about that. And then my favorite segment, though, has got to be Fast and the Furious.
Oh, dominant,
Dominic Toretto.
Yeah, constantly talking about family, and I cackled.
The only thing I think was a missed opportunity is I feel like if they roasted Fast and Furious Supercharged, they didn't roast it enough. Because I feel like that whole segment should have just been like balls to the walls, like, yeah, we know Fast and the Furious Supercharged kind of sucks. I honestly think Fast and the Furious Supercharged works better on the tram tour when it's not a standalone attraction.
Yeah, I see that.
Although, granted, I still don't think it should have replaced Revenge of the Mummy, or not Revenge of the Mummy, but the Mummy section of the tram tour.
Yeah.
Spinning tunnel. But anyways. Alright, so moving on. You still feeling tipsy, Mickeyfan?
I'm feeling a little better.
Alright, well, let's get to Team Durango, Yoshi's Jellystone Adventure. I'm just going to say it. It's the first project this season that's legitimately let me down.
I have to agree with you, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just when I was reading this, I just didn't. I felt a lack of passion behind the IP.
Yeah, I feel like it was, and you said this perfectly in your review.
Yeah,
there was like, no one could really come up with an IP they could agree on, so they just kind of all went with an idea that they were all meh on.
Yeah, and it came out with a meh project, unfortunately.
Yeah. Which this is the lowest scoring project so far.
Easily.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we just said last podcast that we'd be shocked if we saw a project score lower than a 40.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, here we are. I mean, I don't want to harp on and say like, oh, it sucks. It's a terrible project, because it's not a terrible project.
It's a competent project.
It is. That's a good word for it. Yeah, I do like certain elements about it. I think my favorite element of it was probably the way that the queue was set up with the play area, and the fact that it felt like an old school tourist trap, kind of like, like wilderness visitor center or something like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, the ride itself was a little bit on the uninspired side, I think.
Yeah, there were a couple scenes that felt like they were ripping off Runaway Railway, honestly.
The dance scene.
Yeah, the dance scene, and Yeah, it just really felt like it was ripping off Runaway Railway.
Yeah, I feel ya. I feel ya. I mean, props for not having the whole ride take place in the forest, because that has always been my main issue with Yogi,
Yeah.
is the fact that it's a really bland environment. But still, I feel like the chase setup would have worked far better as a simulator.
Oh yeah, and this ride really does just feel like an extended chase scene.
Mhm.
And
And
not to
not an
say that,
extended chase scene in like a Mad Max Fury Road good kind of way.
yeah, not and that's not to say that a chase scene making up a ride is a bad idea, but
Hell, Dinosaur is pretty much one big chase scene when you
exactly.
get onto it.
And for Dinosaur, you know, for all its problems, is a pretty great ride.
I love Dinosaur. Controversial take here, Mickey fan. I think Dinosaur, the ride itself, not the queue, not the overall attraction experience, but just simply taking the overall ride itself into account, I like Dinosaur better than Indy.
No comment.
Silence. Nobody agrees with me on that. Nobody agrees with me on that.
I think Indy has, not to go on this tangent, but I think that,
Dinosaur is a hell of a lot more thrilling than Indy is.
oh yeah, for sure, but Indy has that, 360 theming that Dinosaur does not have.
I don't know. I maybe I'm just a sucker for an adrenaline rush, but Dinosaur is one of the few, not just Disney attractions, but one of the few theme park attractions. Period. Like
That is pure adrenaline.
Dinosaur legitimately scares me more than most roller coasters do.
Oh yeah, the Carnotaurus, when it like walks up straight to your car. Yeah, like I
Like
totally agree.
there's some janky ass stuff going on in that ride too that just makes it all the more creepy.
Like the dinosaur eating the other one, and the
Yes, and did
just
you
one
know
of the
about the
first things you see
I
in that ride.
great. And also the fact that you can just see like a spare Carnotaurus just lurking in the corner of the room if you look hard enough. That's a
Oh
true
yeah.
fact. And I haven't even looked for it because I legitimately don't want to see it. It's that scary.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Have you seen it?
I have not. And
Oh
I
god,
don't want to.
right. All right. Anyways, another side tangent here. Can we talk about how much Yogi Bear sucks?
It's throwback to our Phineas and Ferb Cross the Second Dimension review, but it's a show that tries to work around its formula instead of working with its formula.
Totally. Yeah, I've always just I got to admit Yogi Bear is one of those characters that's just like I always, even as a kid, I just don't like him. I don't, nothing about that franchise appeals to me at all.
He's so one note as a character.
Oh yeah, for sure. The one thing about the franchise that has ever appealed to me is this is an incredibly niche thing. But I think Justin Timberlake did a really good Boo Boo impression in the live action movie. That's like the high point of the Yogi Bear franchise for me. And it's a terrible movie, but Justin Timberlake's like, yeah, it's funny. So yeah, I don't know. Yogi Bear is just not a good IP.
At this point, I have to agree with you.
All right.
Who knows what will happen in the future? Maybe we will get a revival that will be 100% amazing.
like what? Like Lego movie quality or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh god. I mean, the thing about that is, like, the reason why something like the Lego movie or the Peanuts movie work so well is because it actually has a legacy to draw on. What the
Yeah,
fuck is Yogi Bear's legacy?
that's true. Picnic baskets.
Yeah,
Picnic
boo,
basket.
I'm going to get the picnic basket. Ooh. Yeah, screw Yogi Bear. Anyways, sorry, folks. I don't mean to be harsh. Any last words on that project, though?
Do better, Durango.
And I'm just going to come out and say it. That guy from Florida, if you're watching, boy, you better just go with Outbound's concept, man.
Please.
I'm just saying, man, now is not the time, especially after we directly told you to not go against the grain and we saved you from elimination. You need to just go with the medieval concept. That guy from Florida.
So good, and he has the backstory completely planned out.
So that's my word of advice to you. I don't feel comfortable standing in and saying that on the forum, but I will say that on the podcast if he's listening.
Yeah, we absolutely recommend listening to the podcast for bonus critiques.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so Project 4, Kungalushing the Night Away. This is by far the one I've been most looking forward to this season so far.
Oh yeah, 100% the one I am most excited for, followed by the next couple ones actually.
There's one coming up late game that I'm really stoked for, but you know, that's later. That's later.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. Adventurers Club is just something that I just really wish I could have experienced.
Oh, same.
Like, I honestly thought that Trader Sam's was like the best thing in the world, but Trader Sam's is like nothing compared to the Adventurers Club.
Oh, absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
It's everything great about character dining combined with everything great about those highly themed bars that Disney's been doing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. So, I have high hopes here. I think that the teams,
that they pull these off.
I think that they will, because I think all three teams have been throwing around really solid ideas.
Yes, you have that medieval theme. You've had the Baltimore Gun Club at Disneyland Paris, and you've had what was the other one? Was there a saloon one, or am I dreaming about that?
Yeah, there was a Gold Rush one.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. But, like, so many cool ideas, and like I keep saying, we are not looking for the restaurant aspect and the bar aspect with this one. We're kind of looking for it, but we are really, really, really looking for that atmosphere and those characters. And
yes.
And that story that you're telling in your club.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And just props to everyone for not even trying to go the C direction, because that would be just a really easy out.
Yeah, and we were kind of strict about that. Do not do C. We do not want to see C. Don't get me wrong. I adore C. I love it as a concept. I love the characters that have come from it. Henry Mystic, Henry Hightower, Mary Oceaneer. I love them all, but I don't want to see it this round.
Yeah. All right, so Mickeyfan, I think that's about it. Any parting words of advice to the players moving forward?
Listen to the damn podcast.
All right, I can't agree more. Like and subscribe. All right.
Ring that bell.
I honestly think that's the first time I've ever uttered the words like and subscribe in my YouTube career. All right. So, folks, thank you so much for watching. You guys are all awesome. Should we say some parting words to Orlando, actually, really quick?
Yes. I don't think that anyone in this cast really deserved to be a first out.
No, not at
I,
all.
I think just kind of the luck of the draw, and unfortunately, someone had to be first out, and it had to be Orlando, just based on activity.
It was a hard call, though. It
It
was a hard
really
call.
was. When
So,
we were looking at all three teams' choices for elimination, and it was going to be it was going to be a tough call, no matter who was in the bottom.
oh yeah, oh yeah. All right. I think that's about it, folks.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Congrats to the final 15 for making it this far. You're all awesome, and Kugaloosh!
Kungaloosh!